There seem to be people everywhere, so I just have to crack on. Hey guys, so today is another sunny day. I've just come out to the park, a beautiful park with loads of people outside. For some reasons, I think they might have forgotten social distancing, but then there's loads of people outside and children in the swing. Let's see if we can zoom in. Yeah, so there's loads of people playing, children playing. Like I said, it's a beautiful day, beautiful weather, and a lot of people are out for some reasons. It's Saturday, and a lot of young families are out, enjoying the sunshine and all. But anyway, straight to the discussion of today, the reason why we're doing this video. So today we're talking about the pillars of a successful marriage, okay? And we know that a marriage is like a house that is being built, okay? If you want that house to stand, you need to make sure you put the right pillars in place. Okay, so that's the same thing with marriage. If you want your marriage to stand, if you want your marriage to be successful, there are certain things that are a must for you to have in that relationship. And today we're going to be talking about 6 of those pillars, okay, that you need to have if you want your marriage to stand. And the first thing we're going to talk about is love. So for every marriage to be successful, there needs to be love from both parties. And when we talk about love, we're not just talking about the feeling. We know that love is a decision that you make to be with someone, a decision to commit to someone, a decision to be with that person no matter what, to be with that person despite all odds. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. And we know the qualities of love. Love is patient, love is kind, and so many of that good stuff. Okay, so you want to make a conscious decision that yes, I love this person and I've decided to be with that person. So that's the first pillar. Okay, so the second pillar of every successful marriage is trust. Okay, we know that, and in my last video I talked about the place of trust in marriage. Should you marry someone if you don't trust them? Even when you get married to someone, you want to make sure that that person continues to earn your trust, and you also need to make sure that you also earn the person's trust continuously. You want to make sure that you trust the person to not be unfaithful to you. You trust the person to be faithful to you. You trust the person to behave in a certain way. You trust the person to be able to be responsible, and you trust the person to be able to meet your needs. And when we're talking about needs, we're not just talking about financial needs. Now we're talking about emotional needs, physical needs, and spiritual needs, and all that good stuff. So you want to ensure that there is trust in that marriage. And again, once the trust is broken in a marriage, it's difficult for that marriage to stand. We say that once trust is broken, you cannot rebuild it. Sometimes you can rebuild it, but it takes extra effort. Sometimes you can never rebuild trust when it's broken from a relationship. Okay, and the third pillar I'm going to talk about is respect. Okay, so you want to make sure that as a couple you respect each other. If you want your relationship to be successful, then yes, you must respect each other. Okay, so you must respect me as a person as I respect you as a person. Respect each other's differences and be able to tolerate each other. Okay, and someone says respect is about value. How much value do you give to your spouse? Okay, so if you value me, you will respect me. If you value me, if you place value on me, you won't treat me shabbily, so to say. Okay, you will treat me with regard, you will treat me with honor. Okay, and that's what we're talking about. So you want to be able to respect your spouse. Okay, and the fourth thing I'm going to talk about is communication. So communication is so important. Look at the sun. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. I like the way it's coming on my face. Oh my world. Okay, so the next pillar I'm going to talk about is communication. So you want to be able to communicate, and there's can't get my words out now. The sun is getting in my mouth. So you want to be able to communicate, and that an analogy I always use. Okay, just like oxygen is to the lungs, just like the switch is to the bulb in your house. That's what communication is to marriage. Okay, so you want to be able to communicate. So yes, you know the things you like, yes, you know the things you don't like. Does your partner know these things? Have you been able to communicate them to your partner effectively? Okay, so that's what we're talking about. So you want to be able to communicate your differences, how you're feeling, what you're thinking. And sometimes some people expect their a partner has to know what they're thinking, what's in their mind. Okay, so but it's not all, that's not always the case. Okay, so you want to be able to communicate. Okay, things that you want to do, things that you love to do, you want to communicate that to your partner as well. So the fifth pillar I'm going to be talking about is understanding. Okay, so you want to have understanding if your relationship is to grow. If you want your marriage to be successful, if you want your marriage to stand firm, you need to be able to understand each other. You know that we are different people. We come from different backgrounds. We have different likes and dislikes. We're raised by different people. You know, our family history are different. So we're different in so many ways. We might be similar in a few things, but we are also different. So you want to be able to understand your differences. You want to understand, okay, what makes my partner happy? What is it that my partner doesn't like? And those things can come about when you communicate. So this follows on from my previous point, which was communication. So you want to communicate to know that, okay, this person is different and I am different. Okay, so we want to be able to understand each other and say, okay, I accept you with your differences. I accept you with the similarities that we have. We're different in terms of our culture. We're different in terms of our biological background, our biological makeup. We react to things differently. And when we talk about people from Africa, we react differently to someone that was born and raised in Europe. Okay, so these are things that you need to put into consideration. People that grow up in different families react to things differently, see things differently. So these are things that you definitely want to understand about your spouse. The sixth thing I'm going to talk about is continuous growth. Okay, so if you want, and this is so important because a lot of times people get married and at some point the marriage gets stale. Okay, so if you want your marriage to be successful, there needs to be continuous growth. So you need to continue growing, okay, in terms of your emotional state, in terms of your mental state, in terms of your thinking, in terms of your finances. You need to continue growing. I don't want to marry you and 10 years time you are still the same. That's not going to make you happy, especially if one person is maybe career focused, or maybe in terms of business they are doing what they can to make themselves better. Then the other person needs to do the same, otherwise they outgrow each other. And I did a video, I can't remember the topic now, where we talked about why, I think it was why couples get divorced or something in that sense. And one of the things we talked about was the fact that couples grow apart. Okay, I think it was when a woman said she didn't want her husband after about 15 years. She didn't want to be married to him anymore. Okay, and the reason was because she developed herself more than the husband. Okay, so she outgrew her husband. She developed herself in terms of her career, in terms of her mental state. She outgrew him. Okay, so we want to have continuous growth. And in terms of our finances as well, if I'm growing financially, you also want to grow financially. If I'm growing spiritually, you want to grow spiritually, mentally, in every way. We want to keep growing. And someone says the day you stop growing is the day you stop dying. You know, so it's important. Or if you're not growing, you're dying. I think that's the phrase. Okay, but we want to make sure that we are growing continuously, not just as a couple, but as individuals, whether you are married or not. You want to make sure that you have continuous growth. Okay, so it's really, really important. And another thing I'm going to just chip in quickly. This wasn't part of my the pillars I listed, but I'm just going to chip it in anyway. Okay, so you both need to have a sense of purpose. You need to know what your purpose in life is, and the other person needs to know what their purpose in life is. So you need to have a common purpose, something that you are working towards. Okay, so you want to have something you're working towards every day, maybe a project, maybe to building a house, or maybe buying a car, or something, maybe starting a business together. So you want to have something that you're working towards every day in order to help your marriage to stand firm. Okay, so these are just 6. It was supposed to be 6, but we've made it 7, but that's fine. Pillars for a successful marriage. I hope it's helpful. I hope it helps someone out there. I hope you like this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Also, if you would like to support my channel, if you like to support what I do on YouTube, then please join my membership, because that's one way that you can support me. You see a join button next to the subscribe button there, and that's a way that you can support my channel. But thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.